പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളെ, HSSTയുടെ ആഭിമുഖ്യത്തിൽ നടത്തുന്ന +2 ഓൺലൈൻ എക്കണോമിക്സ് ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് ഏവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. My name is Jayesh MP. I teach economics at Government Model HSS, അമ്പലപ്പുഴ. ഈ വീഡിയോയിൽ പ്രധാനമായും ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് +2 എക്കണോമിക്സിൽ എന്താണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത് എന്നുള്ളതിൻ്റെ ആകെ ഒരു സംക്ഷിപ്ത രൂപമാണ്. കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത് ഇന്ത്യൻ സമ്പദ്ഘടനയുടെ വികസനത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക്സ് എന്ന വിഷയത്തെക്കുറിച്ചുമാണ് നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിൽ നിന്ന് വിഭിന്നമായി ഈ വർഷം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത് സാമ്പത്തിക ശാസ്ത്രത്തിലെ സിദ്ധാന്തങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും വളരെ സങ്കീർണമായ സിദ്ധാന്തങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും അതുപോലെ ആ സിദ്ധാന്തങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ആശയങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചും വിവിധ സങ്കേതങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചുമാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത്. You have 2 books to learn economics in your +2 classes. We know that there are 2 important fundamental branches of economics, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. You have to learn introductory microeconomics and introductory macroeconomics in your +2 classes. The NCERT suggested 2 books for +2 classes. The one is Introductory Microeconomics. In this book, there are 6 chapters. In this 6th chapter, in the same manner, for macroeconomics, this is the book that NCERT suggests to follow. Introductory Macroeconomics. Altogether you have to learn about 12 chapters in the +2 classes in this year. So let's look at the introductory. Let's take introductory microeconomics. What all you have to learn in the introductory microeconomics books. In the introduction of this book, mainly talk about the central problems of economy. What are the central problems of an economy? And how these central problems is addressed by different systems of economy. That part you are going to learn in the first chapter. That is introduction chapter. In the second chapter, that starts with economic theories. By the way, the microeconomics mainly deals with the decision, a study on the decision of individual economic agents. It's basically trying to understand how a economic agent takes decisions in the constrained resource situation and try to optimize their result or how to maximize the satisfaction, the utility. So in the second chapter, you are going to learn about consumer behavior, the theory of consumer behavior. And in this, you are going to learn about consumer budget, preference of the consumer, optimal choice of the consumer, demand, market demand, and elasticity of demand. This is the broad topics, subtopics that you have to learn in the second chapter of Introductory Microeconomics text. The third chapter deals with production, that's mainly related with firm, ഒരു ഉൽപാദനശാലയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള സാമ്പത്തിക തീരുമാനങ്ങൾ എടുക്കുന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള പഠനമാണ് third chapter dealing with. In the third chapter, we are going to learn about production function, the short-run production function, long-run production function, law of diminishing marginal products, and law of variable proportion. These are the major subtopics that you have to learn in the third chapter. When it comes to fourth chapter, it mainly deals with the market, different systems of market, different types of market. One important type of market is perfect competition. In the fourth chapter, you are going to learn about what are the features of perfect competition, what are the conditions of profit maximization under perfect competition, what are the nature of the supply curve, and what are the determinants of firm supply curve, market supply curve, and price elasticity of supply. These are the basic important subtopics that you have to learn in the fourth chapter. In the fifth chapter, you are going to learn about market equilibrium. How an equilibrium point is reached when different agents, individual agents in the market play around. So in this chapter, you are going to learn about excess demand, excess supply, and price ceiling and price floor. All these subjects, all these subtopics, concepts are you are going to learn in the fifth chapter. And last, sixth units, you are going to learn about the concept of monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly market situation. These are otherwise known as the different types of imperfect market situation or imperfect competition. And in these all six chapters, these are the various tools, concepts, theories that you are going to learn about in the first introductory microeconomics chapters. So in the second book that the NCERT suggests to you, the introductory macroeconomics, and in that macroeconomics, in the introduction part, in this also you have to learn that there are six chapters, and including introduction. In the introduction chapter, they give you have to learn about the emergence of macroeconomics and what are the basic concepts that you have to learn in the macroeconomics. For example, the macroeconomics as a subject emerged only after 1930s. 1930s is the year of Great Depression. The world economic down happened in 1930s. Till 1930s, there was a different economic ideology that was running the world. That is Say's law of market, classical economic theories, classical economic concepts were run by was actually running the whole economy, which basically deals with the least government interference in the market, in the economy, which is the best government. However, in the 1930s, the Big Depression, the Great Depression showed that the classical theories or classical tools of running economy is not sufficient to understand the real market situation, the real economic situation like the Great Depression. So, in 1936, John Maynard Keynes came up his seminal work, The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, and which give an alternative solution to the classical theory of macroeconomics. Basically, it argues for government intervention in market. Free market never solve every economic problems. Basic argument of Keynes is that free market is not sufficient to solve all economic problems or societal problems. Government intervention is required whenever the free market failure happens. So there is, in this introduction chapter, the context, basically they try to give you an understanding of emergence of macroeconomics, in which context this microeconomics is an important subject that we should one should learn about. So in the second chapter, we are going to learn about national income and how the various methods of calculation of a national income in various situations, especially income method, product method, and expenditure method. These are in the second chapter. We need to learn about these various types of national accounting methods. In the third chapter of macroeconomics, mainly deal with money and banking, which includes functions of money, demand for money, and supply of money. And fourthly, we have to learn about the concept of income determination. Particularly, we need to study about the concept of aggregate demand and aggregate supply, and also autonomous consumption functions, and how the multiplier mechanism happens in an economy. So we in the fourth chapter of macroeconomics, we are going to learn about money and banking, that is the concept of income determination. Particularly, we study the concept of aggregate demand and aggregate supply aspects of an economy as a whole. So, in the fifth chapter of macroeconomics, we are going to learn about the role of government in an economy. So we know that, particularly, in these days, we know that the economy is down. In a pandemic situation. This is we are whole world is under a panic situation due to the consequence of the COVID-19, and all economic activities are going in a very in a depression situation. In such a situation, how the government should behave, how government can interfere in economic activities to boost the whole economic activities and increase the expectation of investors, so that we can bring back the economy into its normal activities or normal situations. So specifically, we try to understand in this chapter. We try to understand components of government budget and fiscal policies. Obviously, you people, you all are looking at you are reading the newspaper. When you read newspaper, you can see that the fiscal policy, fiscal deficit will increase from 3.5% to 5% in the current 2021 year. Both all states and all, in the case of India, the fiscal limit will increase. So government expenditure under this pandemic situation should increases. This catastrophe, this type of when economy fails due to some external factors like health shock, that is COVID-19 attack, virus attack. This makes our economy in a fragile situation. So each government has to take responsibility to bring back our economy into normal. For that, a lot of government has to interfere in the economy by giving employment. For example, Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Government should interfere to pumping more money, allocating more money to these kind of activities, and provide employment to the rural unemployed peoples, and also improve the livelihood situations of livelihood activities of rural and urban population. So in this manner, government also give food by giving through public distribution system. Government have to give free food to the population, to the household. So these are the ways in which they have to government has to interfere in the economy. So government has to allocate more money on this. So in this fifth chapter we are going to learn about what is the role of government in an economy, and the formulation of budget, components of budget, and fiscal policies. Lastly, in the sixth chapter we are trying to learn about the open economy, macroeconomics. So you all know that in this macroeconomics, in the modern world, in the globalized world, each and every economy is economically integrated each other through exchange of goods and services, through exchange of investment, foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment. In this manner, each countries in this world economically integrated. There is a great saying that now geography is history. What does it mean? Now the whole economy, all countries there, there is the geographical boundary is fading away in the among the countries. But this situation, how this international trade, international capital investment, capital flight, all these concepts are we are learning in the sixth chapter of macroeconomics. We are going to learn about the balance of payment, foreign exchange market, the determination of income in an open economy, trade deficits, savings, and investment. How these aspects, investment, savings, and trade deficit, affect on each individual country's performance. So in this macroeconomics, we have six chapters. These are what I have told you is a broad understanding of what you have to learn in the macroeconomics classes. So in a nutshell, the whole class is, I try to give you a gist of plus 2 economics syllabus, that is introductory macroeconomics. There are 6 chapters in each books, and altogether you have to learn of 12 chapters, and all these chapters you have to give concentrated attention to understand the basic theories, concepts, tools to get a whole comprehensive understanding of this subject. And then only you can it's very easy to score high mark in economics. It's very easy. I am assure you it is very easy. You can easily get more than 70 mark out of 80 if you give the minimum 70 out of 80 if you give adequate attentions to understand the basic concepts, basic tools in introductory microeconomics, in introductory macroeconomics. In the next class onwards, we will learn each chapters in detail. Till then, thank you so much for watching this video.